What's up, Gary?
Who's going to be the first one to scream at us? You're a minute
and we're
10
a minute late, Gary. We are a minute late. Who's going to jump our butt? Who do you think it is?
Probably Troy. It'll probably be Troy again. Lewis Martin Jr. is watching, I see, and there's Doug Perry. Hey, Doug.
There's Jim.
Jim Lauer, Mr. Jim, and Shannon and Maverick. They say,
Shannon,
hello, guys.
To the front.
That's right. Hi, Shannon. Hey, there's Sandra Aves. Hi, Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
Where's Troy? Ready for him to give us a hard time for being, 30 seconds late.
Gary, I'm glad to see Sandra on. Gary and I were talking about, was it yesterday that she helped with that West Show chip? Because if I would have drew that chip, I would have drew somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, she drew your chip.
He helped me out that night. I just remembered that the other day.
Hey, you know what? You know what's going to happen?
What?
If you do that too many times, people are going to figure out your secret.
Ooh.
Or did I just let out the secret?
Don't let it out. Don't let it out.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit. Sonic Summer Nights. This is Travis, right? Travis Kurtz. What's up, guys? He says, I'm pretty sure that's Travis.
Yes.
At the Sonic Summer Nights off of YouTube.
Yeah.
There's Wendy. Hello, fellas. So Wendy and Lewis are here.
Cool.
There's AJ Taylor, Mr. AJ. I'm gonna do some drifting on the track, Taylor.
Yeah. Transmission lock, Taylor.
Nice save, AJ. Good job. Jim Lauer, you're late. Okay, we get it from Jim.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. It's a line in the house.
Yes. Hunter Davidson. Afternoon, gentlemen. Hello, Hunter Davidson. Sandra says I drew for Devin too.
There you go. See, she's qualified. There you go.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh, here's Goose. He said twice, "You're late," and I'm holding a can of spray paint.
He sent me that can of spray paint. It's all black, for the new wheels. He sent it to me. Oh, Goose.
Oh man. Troy says, "Sorry, I fell out of my chair. It took me a minute to get up."
Oh, come on, Troy.
You must be old falling out of his chair.
Doggies.
Here's Chris Durrell. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Chris?
Hi, Chris.
Thanks for chiming in.
Yes. AJ says, see y'all Saturday.
This Saturday.
Sandra says she's a professional chip drawer.
That's it.
That's right. We need to get her under contract where she can't draw for nobody else. Then.
That's probably a good idea. I'm glad you brought that up. We'll have to figure something out.
And get an insurance policy on her chip draw hand.
Yeah, so she has to wear a glove all the time, so it doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yep. There's Melissa Morrow. Good evening. Hi, Melissa. Tayton Cheever. What's up, Tayton?
What's up, Tayton?
Man, very unfortunate. Tayton works for ICT Billet, and we saw that their trailer caught on fire going to Vegas to the was that LS Fest or something like
LS Fest. Had a rough
day. What a terrible deal.
Yeah. A lot of displays there going down. Engines, the whole kit, for a company. I don't know if they figured out what started that fire. That's too bad.
Haven't heard.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Like Alan and his team of people are very smart and resourceful. Yes. I imagine they'll bounce back from this bigger and better than what they had. Oh, yeah. And so, keep an eye out for that, because that won't get them down.
They're going to keep a good company down. And I've already seen other companies helping out, like Frankenstein and donating to kind of pitching in. So,
yeah. And then they have they do some T-shirt sales. They had some T-shirts to do, and
time off for some shirts.
Yep. Hopefully that's doing good.
Yeah.
There's Brian Wise. Evening, fellas. What's up, Brian?
Brian's car's coming along pretty nice. We get some spy photos every now and then from him.
Yep. It's looking good. It's at the Webb Racecraft headquarters in Topeka. Yep. Oh, Sandra says sponsorships available.
There we go.
Doug Perry says, how's the car coming, Rodney?
Coming good. Gary's got a couple of photos here. He'll share in a bit. Thanks for asking. No, it's coming good. Plan on
got some good update. Good update. Yes. Tayton says we will get back on our feet, no doubt. The support has been unbelievable. Good. Right. Good deal. Hey, there's James Foreman. James, we saw his video. He was racing at Flying H, and he got to split the pot with Larry. I think it was Larry he said he split the pot with. Man.
That was Russell.
Oh, sorry, my bad. James. Oh, yeah, James had a starter issue, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dang it. Yeah, so. Well, Russell can buy you a starter.
There you go.
Yes. Here's Chuck Parsons. That's Ray Parsons' dad. Yeah. He is the head of one of our marketing partners here.
Appreciate your support.
So, thank you, Chuck. Great to see you and hear from you chiming in. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah. And we saw him last weekend, I think, in the stage.
We did. Yeah.
Marking orders to Ray,
With that killer Camaro Ray has. Man, we just got a ton of comments flying in here. Lewis Martin, hello, fellas.
What's up, Lewis?
Lewis, and here's Whitney Williams. Hi, Whitney. And there's the winner, Matt Sampetro. What's up, fellas?
Winner. Look at him.
The winner, man.
He's getting everybody head start at Centerville. Go on out there. Go on out there. Tell me where to go.
There's Sean Jennings from Salina. What's up, Sean?
Yep. Big deal this weekend in Salina.
Man, it is going to be coming up this weekend. Big deal. James Foreman found a broken rocker as well. Yeah, I seen that picture. That rocker broken. Dang it.
Well, I found the red limber when it hit the tires.
Oh, man. Boom. Let's give our partners a shout out here real quick.
Do it.
Let's give these partners a shout out. Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest. CMB, Chuck's Metal Buildings and Constructions. We just heard from Chuck. He chimed in. Thank you, Chuck. Harry Street Carpet, Ozark Raceway, Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing, Ultra Color Collision Repair, TNS Race Cars, and Sandland Iron and Metal. Thanks so much to these partners for hanging out with us and having a good time and supporting us on our little show and racing in 2026. Thanks a bunch.
Whoop, whoop.
Wowee.
Nice. There's Russell Foreman. He jumped in. Same with Tony.
Yep. Tony Phillips up, fellas. Hey, Tony. There's Russell. There's the winner right there. Winner, splitter. What do you want to call it? Good job, Russell. Good job. Linda Moffett Parsons. Riker Parsons is Ray's boss at the track.
Ain't that the truth?
Sounds good.
He's calling the shots.
Oh, that's awesome.
Around there, yeah. Who's your dad?
Yeah. Man, we said it last week what a great kid Riker is. He's such a great kid, man.
Awesome kid.
There's Brandon Sandlin.
What's up, Brandon?
Dude. What's up, Brandon? Flex.
In.
Right on.
All right. So what's the game plan? We're going to show some picks first. You want to bring in the boys first?
Let's
see, Brandon.
Brandon, I need more waffles.
Ain't that the truth, man?
He's hooked.
They are great.
Brian says, I'm trying to get my wife to let me come see you guys this weekend.
All right. Before we get started, we got something to discuss here, Gary. You remember last week we talked about the whole point thing.
Yes.
And what is a point? I went back and looked. I think it was like April 8th or something. Al posted that on on the Facebook page, and so it kind of cleaned up that. I mean, it's black and white. It says it right there, so that kind of answered that question. And we can talk through that when they get on. But also the question about Troy's asked. When you got 10 that come to 10 that enter, but only 9 come to the chip draw. Are there 9 chips or are there 10 chips in the bucket? So we'll talk through that as well. That was a layover question from last week. And then, if they got any updates about the race this weekend, they can also tell us about that. So,
that's right.
People are on and just hitting. Ow, man, is your thumb tired yet? Holy
man,
cow.
I know. I'm just bam, bam, bam. Wendy says we got the waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra says, not sure Shannon has ever told you no. Wendy says he just needs to be there. Talking to Brandon, I'm sure. That's there. Right. Just that's get right. there. I saw Bear. There's Bear. Hey, Bear.
If you're on the property, you're gonna get some waffles.
Sean Jennings says your show help us out. Thank you. You're welcome, Sean. That's what we're here for, man. To spread news, and most of it's true.
Yeah.
If it comes from Rodney, it's true. If it comes from me, it might be skewed. Russell says, I wish we could have run the finals. Betty White was getting sporty. Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got it all ready for next weekend.
And they was at Flying H, and we get to go to Flying H at the end of May. I can't wait.
Yeah. Go see the Flying H track. Such a nice place. Oak Grove. I haven't forgotten.
Grove. Okay. Lock it in.
Yes.
So you had a busy week.
Yes.
You want to get into that a little bit before we grab Larry now? Okay.
Man, shout out to Alter Color. I mean, they just didn't stop. You know, here's a picture. I got the fenders back, got the hood back. I'm setting the
So back up just a teeny bit to our drive home Sunday. You was talking to Jason. You guys were making a plan on Sunday while we were driving home from Centerville.
Right.
And it went full bore Monday morning.
Monday morning. I went down before work and dropped off the pieces, you know, and he was worried about the nose a little bit, but by the end of Monday night, he felt positive about the nose, and he got the fenders all ready, and there were some scratches on the fenders that I bought from Dave, which is fine, and the hood has some barbed wire on it as well, and so he picked through that, and the plan was to get the fenders and hood to me by Friday. So over the weekend, I could locate the hood Zeus's. There's 2 on each fender. And then, you know, start fitting them and molding them and then take them back Monday. Well, he called me Wednesday night and said, hey, your stuff's ready. And, what? And he goes, no, we've been killing it over here. And we got it all in primer. And so we want you to fit it. And I'm no body person, you know, I threw the fenders on there and put the bolts in, but you know, I need some help lining them up, obviously. But no, it's coming together, and I don't know if it's not going to be white by this weekend, but it's all going to be together, you know. And
I don't see a exhaust hole out the fender. Are we going to stick it through the hood like you thought? Maybe? No, come on.
We're doing it through the fender. Well, I kind of need the nose to grab the fender and bring it in. You know what I mean? Where the exhaust is. Because I almost did that today. I almost got the hole in the fender for the exhaust.
Oh man!
Because you made the pipe, and but like I thought, oh man, because see down there, the lower part there, it's going to grab some of that front end and curve, you know. And so I'm a little nervous about that, you know. If you go back to that other picture too, man, Joseph Thomas helped me out in Garage Built.
Oh right,
new wheel, and so I got it in 2 days, and I got my wastegate in 1 day, and then Monkey Fab made that little header collector that you ran with and made that crossover tube.
Yeah, you killed it all week,
man.
I mean, for real.
I'll be honest with you, I'm tired, man.
Yeah.
My wife this morning, she goes, what are you going to do today? I go, I'm going to go out in the garage. She goes, you act like that's a bad thing or something. I go, I'm just tired.
Yeah, like the car is ready. The body work is not.
Right.
But it's close. It's super
to
close.
Your point, I think right now it'll do a burnout. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so So
you should do that live. You should do that live right now. Just go do a burnout.
Just fire it up. Try like what James Foreman did. Try to start it. You know.
It would do it. I know it will.
Yeah, but it's been a week. I got some great companies helping me, and if it wasn't there's the back of the nose there. He's putting all the fiberglass, laying it up, and man, that thing ended up being like 4 or 5 different pieces. You know, that one piece was just gone all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the driver's side chunk was just a big chunk.
Yeah,
it was
missing.
Nothing there.
And I'm so glad whoever brought that to me from the field did. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't even recall who brought that over. No idea.
Yeah.
It might have been Goose. I don't know.
I think it was because he brought us that little exhaust piece as well, didn't he? Or some kid or something.
Yeah, the smushed dump from the wastegate.
Yeah. Now, the gas tank and the catch can, I'm going to mess with after this next race or whenever we got a window of opportunity. It'll race with what we have. It's just not perfect.
Yeah.
Like I like it, but yeah, you can see Logan and Jason here just putting in work, man. And they said it'll be all back together. It'll be fine. So have my hats off to them. I think they're going to get a little Christmas bonus this year. So
the fenders, they will be white, right? But the nose may not be completed at white.
That's what he mentioned. He thinks the fenders and the hood will be white, but the nose will be in primer, is what he mentioned.
I seen the hood on your horses or your table, yesterday afternoon, and man, the hood looks great. It looks like it's great to sand and paint.
Yeah, like it never happened. And the pillar on the driver's side has a little scratch on it where it grabbed that barbed wire as well. I mean, some of that stuff I just have to catch later, But,
but get some white out and just brush it on.
I had a professional get a hold of me, and he said I need white
tape. White tape.
Yeah,
there you go. That'll work.
Don Irwin.
Oh yes.
But it's coming together, and what is that? 4 or 5 different people just connected to this deal to try to get it back together for this weekend,
so Ultra Color for the win. Let's give them an applause.
Let's do it. And we were texting back and forth, and I said, man, I appreciate it so much, Jason. You don't know how much I appreciate this. And he goes, no, I got to get you back on the track. It's a big deal. So,
and it's funny, like, was it early? It might've been like Sunday, Larry Hunt, he said something about Rodney's going to have it back just like new by Friday.
Yeah. By Friday,
next days.
Yeah. It'll be close.
It'll be really close. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good team, and you're a big part of that too. I mean, you were all on the mechanical side, everything, like this is your shop right here where we had the, what do they call that? Discharge tube for the wastegate or something?
Yeah. That's like the dump tube out of the wastegate that fuel filter wreaked havoc on everything behind it that it hit. Just demolished like a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Everything that it touched. And it's amazing that it didn't damage or break the filter. It just broke the bracket.
And it has a little scratch on it.
Amazing. Like it smushed that tube. Yeah. This is the new one, but it smushed it, and it collapsed, not collapsed. It seriously damaged the wastegate. That's a stainless housing that wastegate is. And it bent it out of round when this got bent and knocked off. It did an amazing amount of damage for not getting damaged itself. It was crazy. Man.
Oh my goodness.
Is that like an Aeromotive filter? Whose filter is that?
Yeah, it's an Aeromotive. Yeah.
Man, it's tough. I think so.
I know it.
Oh man. Yeah, so we had to make a new dump tube because it got mushed. So your new, I'll say new, the repair, we decided to put a double slip in there and let that stuff move and expand and contract with heat. Yeah. And I happen to have one on the shelf here. We didn't have to wait for it to show up. So we put a double slip in there. This was a reducer from the 3-inch to 2.5, your 2.5-inch tube, and that came right off the collector. I welded all that up and had it ready to go when you had the Monkey Fab stuff ready to go. We did some test fitting last night, a little grinding and test fitting on a new elbow, a 90-degree piece to go in from the double slip into the collector. And man, a little grinding here and there and fitting, and we got it and we brought it over here and we welded her up.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome.
Then you took it home, and I was hoping after you left, I'm hoping that it fit.
Yeah. Oh man. And what was it, around 10:15 or so I left your place? What was that? 10:10?
Yeah. 10:19 on my camera. You walked down the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't going to bed until I knew it fit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you said you would fit that up and shoot a text, and you did. So go back to what you were talking about last night, talking about the pieces. It used to be kind of a pain in the butt to go together. How was your experience putting this together now with the double slip in the game?
It's two separate halves. Before, you got to just hold it just right and get it over this other little bracket and everything, and it's just kind of wedging it through. And now with this double slip, you can put one side on, bolt it down, and then slide this through and hit the C-clamp. I mean, bam. I hate to say it out loud, but I should have done this 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
They're so awesome, man. They are so good.
Yeah.
You get hot and they expand, and it tightens up. The little tube inside the tube expands and seals it up, and it's a really good system.
It really is. Went together like butter.
Let me see here. Okay. We got one more picture here before we'll catch up on the comments, and then we'll get Larry now. So this is complete, right? This is back together.
Yeah, the turbo's back on and everything right here. And so like you were mentioning, I got to put the downpipe on, that you put the extra extension on, to get it through those fenders. But I'm a little nervous about cutting that hole without the nose on to get it right, to get it in the center there.
No, you're doing it right. Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm waiting, you see the fuel filter down there that's that long, that's all bungee cord up right now. I should get that bracket tomorrow. And then, but it'll be raceable for this weekend. And, like I said, I think even putting the exhaust on, I'll probably tomorrow with the fenders at Jason's, I'll go ahead and get in the driveway and warm it up and put on the two-step and check the bump and change the oil and that sort of got the whole nose on. And then, like we talked about it offline, the gas tank, the bars got tweaked just a little bit. So I want to clean that up once we get there, and then, like I was saying last week, every minute you're working on this is a minute you're not working on your own stuff. And Troy or the next person in there. So,
yeah, it's all good. I enjoy doing this stuff.
Oh, you're good at it, man. I mean,
it's the only thing I know how to do. I don't know how to do nothing else.
For a minute.
Hey, my wife's out painting the house.
I know, man. She came over yesterday. She was yelling at me. I went outside and I'm like, where are you at? She goes, I'm up here.
Like she's out there right now. She's out there right now painting the house. Incredible. I ain't getting up on the ladder. I need my arms and feet to buy groceries. I'm not coming to the ground off of a ladder. That would be stupid.
Yeah. But just reflecting, I'm so lucky.
You are. Aside from that darn fuel pump causing so much damage, the rest of it was the filter. Yeah. The rest of it was pretty. I say easy. I'm not a body man, but obviously it was raceable because we went rounds afterwards.
Yeah, we did
with some high speed Gorilla Tape and some zip ties.
Yeah. We did. We had 4 zip ties around that filter that Devin put on.
Oh man, it was great.
That's funny.
You got anything else on that? Or
that's it, man. I'm feeling good. I appreciate all the help, the support, the messages, the texts, the Facebook messages. I'm just trying to keep everybody updated. Like just saying again, if it wasn't for Ultracolor, if it wasn't for Joseph at Garage Built, Jared at Monkey Fab, and you, Gary, I'd be over here, with the wrecked automobile still with some bent up fenders. It's funny too, because my neighbor, he's a car guy, but he's level, he just messes around. But he was going to come over to look at my stuff. Like, I saw you on Facebook. I want to come over and see how bad it is. He makes 2 more days. It's going to be done 100%.
You're going to tell.
Yeah. So that's just kind of funny. Where's everything at? Oh, it's fixed.
Go back to Joseph Thomas. What all did you order from Joseph Thomas?
From Joseph, Joseph was another person that Saturday night, after I put the post out that I went off the end of the track, he said, anything you need, just let me know anything you need. And then so I knew need the wastegate right away. So on Sunday on the way home, I told him I need a wastegate, and he was like, what one do you need exactly? And you said it's just take a picture of the box you have. And so that's what I did. Yep. And I sent it over to him. So he had that coming Monday morning. I got it Tuesday. And then on Monday, once, you kind of peel it back a little bit after you get it out of the trailer and get it apart, then that's when I saw that I had the rim was not going to, it was a safety thing. It was scratched up pretty good, galled up, and it was it barely missed going into the tire, thank goodness. And
what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that wheel? Are you
I think I'm going to seriously. I think I'm going to grab a fender. No. I'm going to when one of these tires is ready to replace, I'm going to keep.
Okay.
Right. And I'm going to mount it back on, and I'm also going to keep one of the fenders that's jacked up, and I'm going to kind of hang it on the wall like that with the rim and the tire and the fender,
right.
And just kind of be a showpiece or whatever.
Which fender was worse? Was it did the driver's side fender get banged up worse?
Because the corner. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was definitely the driver's side.
Man, well, shout out to Joseph Thomas. That stuff came. I mean, like you was telling me, this is here and this is here. It's like, man, this stuff. Yeah. It's like they had everything ready to go.
Oh yeah,
just waiting for you to say ship it.
It was, and he even told me, he's like, and I would just PayPal him,
yeah,
cost, and then he was like, I got a vendor that has one, and I made make sure it's for a 4.5 and for the bolt pattern, and it showed up, and the only deal that took an extra day was that monkey fab deal, but he had to make it. Yeah. He didn't have one on his shelf because it was for the 60 instead of the 44.
Yeah, but he nailed it and he shipped it, and we made it happen.
Yeah. So just getting it all ready for this weekend. I'm looking forward to it and keeping it going. So that's why we're doing this,
Let's catch up on some comments, and then we'll grab Larry and Al if Al can make it back. I see
Al's here. I don't think Larry's there.
Or Larry. I see Al. Yeah. Yeah, Jim Robinson. How Christ doing? Hope good. Yeah, because kind of covered that. Chuck Parsons says talking about the waffle and bacon and sausage. He says bringing wild hog sausage to the next waffle cook.
Oh, awesome. Man. Didn't he bring that to Tulsa?
Man, I don't know.
Remember, I thought last year.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Ray brought. I didn't see Chuck. We didn't know Chuck, but Ray brought some sausage. That's probably it. Oh yeah. Sweet. Doug Perry is looking good, guys, kicking ass. I knew you guys were going to get it back together quickly. Yes. Have to. You only had a week.
I know it.
There's Eric Summer chiming in. What's up, boys? Eric from Salina. Lewis says Chuck Parsons is the man.
Oh yeah,
he is. Goose says I'll have extra paint after I paint the wheels for the nose piece. Oh, Goose. Sandra says Tiffany has zero fear, talking about painting the house. We should all be more like her.
Exactly.
She got the ladder and she goes, I got to get out on this little hangover for the kitchen windows. She goes, I got to crawl that on her. I said, how are you going to get out there? Oh, I'll just crawl out there. I was like, okay. I went back out later and looked, and she's like, and she's up there looking. She's like, I don't think I'm going to do this. I said, okay, good.
Yeah.
Said, if you put the ladder against the gutter, I'll hold the ladder.
Right.
And let's do that. So it worked out. Yeah, she got it.
No fear, man. No fear.
Doug Perry says Joseph Thomas is great. He sure is. Melissa says like a trophy. Yeah, your wheel and fender.
Yeah.
And look, Jim says car looking good, Gary.
Oh, it is.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
Got any updates for you? I know you've been working it too, and you ain't messing with my stuff.
Yeah, and you can't see it because I'm working in the back. I've been working back there in the hatch, getting wiring laid out, kind of rerunning some stuff, putting the light across the hatch. So I got light back there at night. God, just all that little stuff just takes so much time. It's like the car was already a built car once. It's like I'm building it again. It just
It's well, like, man, you're adding stuff as you go. It's not the same car. I mean, anything you look at has been changed or upgraded or different or messed with, repainted, re-washed, all the above.
I want it to be great and awesome, and I want to have the best tools available when I actually get it running. So it hasn't ran for 4 years. You know, stuff changes. So I want it to be good.
Jim and everybody else on here, it looks good in person too. I've been over there, you know. I didn't kick him out of the chair when he was welding, you know. I was just looking at his car, you know. And so it looks really nice. It really does.
Yeah, it's super dirty now. It's almost got a brown tint because it's got so much dust and stuff
on it. You better
get
it cleaned up for the little deal on Sunday, the Salina deal, the photo deal.
Oh, I'll get it cleaned up. I want to go racing with you. I got a tough decision to make. Oh man, I'm in a bad spot. Well, oh man. Well, let's just get there. Let's get there. What? Let's get there right now. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Al, Larry, hang on 1 second.
What'd you find?
Ozark had a bracket race.
Yeah.
And Mark said it was amazing. So did Larry. So he posted, congrats to all our winners at the Midwest Diesel Pros Bracket Points Race. Number 1, thanks to Morrow Photography for the pictures. I hope to have the points finished up in the next day or 2. And they, I think there was 5 that they posted. So, and also look how cool that new winners board.
Yes, isn't that cool?
Isn't that nice? That is nice.
Picture? Yeah.
That's so nice.
They got a bench right there as well, I've heard.
And Melissa with the picture, like the sponsors and all that, and what a great picture. So this is Super Pro winner was Andrew Goss. Looks like a little Chevy 2 wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Foot brake, Matt Sampetro, and he's probably there with the runner-up. I don't know who the runner-up is, but congrats to Matt. He's back winning again. The next one we got is
everybody a head start at Centerville. I'm telling you,
he did. He gave him a head start. Trophy class, Jim Klein. Congrats to you, Jim Klein. Motorcycle, Jeff Downing, and I believe Jeff Downing is a Titans racer. If I'm wrong, I've seen the name with the Titans stuff. Congrats, Jeff. Junior dragster, Lily Klein. Congrats to you, Lily Klein. And we got, so on the Ozark side, congrats to all you. And that new winner circle board looks amazing. It looks really nice. And Larry said it'll provide some great shade. There's a there's a bench to sit on there. Congrats to Ozark for a great, successful bracket race.
Didn't they say they had 144 cars for that thing?
Something like that. Yeah. What
incredible.
The weather was great, man.
It really was.
Melissa says it was a privilege to take the first new winner circle picks. Oh, cool. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Real nice. And we got one more little bit of news here. Craig Ondrick. We haven't seen Craig out yet. He says he just posted this afternoon. After a long winter and lots of repairs and new parts, it's alive again. Shout out to Chris Blackwell, JRB Racing, Nick Bacalus at Bullet Racing Engines, Show Me Speed, that's Wes, and Redemption Motorsports for all the help along the way. RPM Revival coming up in 2 weeks at Flying H.
Is that his first outing?
Cool, I think so.
Right on.
That car is super awesome and super fast, and I've always been a huge fan of Craig in this car.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, here we go. This is good here. Josh Rich from Salina says, what's up, dudes? Who's the go-to contact at Neil Chance to discuss converters? Take that, Rod.
I'll take that. You can call Marty or you can call Doug. I got their personal cells or the shop number. But Josh, I'll send you a private message.
Thanks. Thanks, Josh. And they're local cats. They are awesome. And Marty's converter is in Rod's car. Marty's converter sits right there in this car. Good dudes, man. Great dudes, man.
Yep.
They love
together.
Yep. They love what we do. Dude, there's Mark. What's up, Tido?
There's
evening, fellas.
Right there.
Now we just covered your winner circle picks, Mark. Congrats on a great event.
Yes, sir.
Man, thanks for chiming in.
140 people entries yesterday. That's a bracket race.
Man,
holy cow! Well,
are you ready?
Larry on. We want to talk about three things. We want to talk about the point deal. We're going to talk about the how many chips in the bucket, and we're going to talk about any news for this weekend coming up.
Okay, that sounds fair.
All right, bring him in.
One more comment. Mark says, "Thanks, boys. It's a team effort for sure. You're a great. I'm sure you're a great leader, Mark. You're a one badass dude."
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Let's roll down here. Oh, there's nothing to roll to there. All right. Let's make a spot for Mr. Larry now. Hey, fellas, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much.
You have a good weekend?
I felt a little guilty a couple weeks ago when you said, we'll have you guys on again before the next race. Well, that was 2 weeks. I thought, man, what are we even going to talk about? 2 weeks? We cover a lot of stuff and it's fun. We have a good time. Talk about sponsors and classes and payouts and blah, 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 bullshit, And
you don't have nothing. Right? Nothing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I got nothing after all of that in 2 weeks.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. But
don't leave.
Yeah, just hang tight. We'll get there. But first, I got to go back and I want to hit Centerville because man, what an outing! Woo! What an outing that was.
Awesome.
And on top of Centerville, you boogie up the front of your car. And Larry and I, we saw you guys Sunday morning, of course. And Larry and I get in the truck and we go home. And Larry says, that car will be fixed before we ever get to the next race. and I said, well, that's no shit. I understand that's going to happen for sure. Because I know that Rodney won't let anybody see that car with so much as a piece of Don Irwin duct tape on it. Even if it's white. I said, I don't care. Don has white tape and red tape. And we all know that about Don. But I said, Rodney's not going to let anybody see that car with even a piece of duct tape on it. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But it does look like maybe you might have a gray nose, and that's acceptable. Nobody's going to hold it against you, because that's and that brings me to my second point of Centerville. This new best appearing car, man, that was so much fun. And went to a perfect car. But it was no easy slouchy deal. We rode around in the pits, Larry and I did. And I said, hey, Larry, check this thing out over here, And I said, and then go over here and look at this car. And then I said, and there's always Rod, which is always spotless and perfect. And I said, and then go up here, look at Aves's car,
And then Devin rolls out with a brand new paint job. And that was the hardest decision of that whole race, was to pick a car. And people probably thought we were just riding through the pits, joyriding there on Friday and early Saturday. But rest assured, it had purpose.
Well, the red 57 Chevy was awesome too.
And Dwayne's 57, he had that. And there's so many. But Devin's car, I got nothing against red Camaros, but I saw that thing silver with an actual black vinyl top.
I know.
Yes.
I thought I was going to pee my pants, man.
and I'll just be honest with you. We bought a box of like 8 or 9 plaques. I think it's 8 or whatever it is for the number of races we got. We could have gave that whole box out at Centerville.
Sure. Oh, sure. But
I told Al, I said, this isn't easy. And he's like, yeah, this is a toughie, and you don't want to make nobody mad because, everybody.
No, we're not trying to hurt feelings.
Yeah, but everybody works so hard on their cars, and you're thinking, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? Because, man, the quality of cars in this series is just phenomenal. And it's like, who do you give it to? You just got to go. And I'll be honest with you, what sold it for me was I had 2 picks in the pits, and I'll just be honest with you, it was Devin and Troy. And I just kept going back, and I'm thinking, man, oh man, oh man. And I thought, man, what which way am I going to go? Me and Al set the pickup there, before time runs on Saturday, and we actually went and set in his pickup kind of to warm up too. But we was talking about what we're picking, and I told him, I said, man, I got two that I'm torn between, and then so we went back one more time, and we was stopped at Troy's, and Devin was right across the street, and that's kind of why we were hanging out down there that morning, because it's like, man, we got to come up with a decision here, And then so Troy come out and he started talking about, it was the late model Hemi, and I forget, it was such and such amount of 2 spark plugs per cylinder, and all this, and for me, and taking nothing away from a pro charged engine, what Devin's got, because it's a masterpiece. But just the thoughtfulness of how Troy converted that late model Hemi to the twin turbo dual spark plug, and all the stuff he's did to that, it just came down to the innovation for me on Troy's build, and it was great.
Yeah, he was talking about 16 coils underneath the dash.
Yes.
And I'm just going, holy shit. That's just wild. That's crazy to figure that all out and then start hiding it to boot. Not only is it there, it's hidden. And you look in the interior. I mean, everything's just so pretty, and carpet, and nothing's out of shape. And I thought, man, I've got to give this one to Troy. Got to give it to Troy. Yeah, and I'm a show car guy anyway. I love ISCA show cars. All that.
Troy will street drive that car too. He'll drive over here and park, and like it's a street car, legit street car.
Yeah. It was a favorite, and it was so fun to give it to him. And of course, he gets so excited about things. I said, hey, we need you to do this, and he goes, oh. Okay, cool.
he was missing a key ingredient, was alcohol.
Oh yeah. Is that it? Is that what fires him up?
That'll fire him up.
Okay, but I just thought, oh shit, here we give this to him, and the best he's got is, oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. I guess that's cool. And it was about that level,
Yeah. And then we see the post, and he was very appreciative.
Then we saw the post later, and we head down in the water box there, and Larry was down there with the plaque, and I talked to him in it, and I could see he was excited at that point.
Oh yeah. When we got back to the pit, and we, he was showing it to us, because we didn't know what was going on either the first time, but there's a lot of pride going on there, and it was I mean, well deserved. That was that kind of just made the weekend too there. I don't know what you guys when you decide to do that, but as all the racers, we really appreciate that little.
It was a while back, and we just talked about it, and all this crazy stuff that Larry and I talk about all the time, and try to make decisions about, and there's more of it coming up here in a little bit, but the whole Centerville race too was, man, awesome cars, awesome people. The classes were great. The racing was great. Sadly, we didn't get to finish the Outlaws, and they opted to split, and the Little Titans guys opted to split. But when we gave everybody the choice, Paul Hedden and I were down there on the ground, and we said, you guys can run. It's up to you. But Eric has made the point that there's nothing he can do to make it any better, and it's 49 degrees, And I won't lie, my old butt was puckered and pinching nails the round before. Right. I just like, come on, guys, do not wad anything up here and get anybody hurt. I worry about that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
how many entries were there? How many tech cards did you have sold?
I never counted them up, to be honest, but the classes were full. They were good. They were good car counts and everything, and I'll know that when I do points this week, but I honestly never added them all together.
It's great.
But there was property.
Yeah, it filled the property. I know there was, man, I want to say 12, I think, in Outlaw, and you guys were maybe the shortest class.
Yeah, we had 6.
Yeah, but there was I think about that many or more little Titans.
Oh, there was like 16.
There was like
little
16.
Yeah, there was a bunch of those, and the
Yeah.
580 and the 650 indexes had 11 or 12, and Pro Tree No Box had 20 some, and so there was a lot of cars there.
Yeah.
And it was all serious racing and great racing, and everything went off smooth, considering I or anybody else wouldn't have given $10 for that race on Saturday morning.
Right.
It was just damp and cold, and
Yeah, I mean, had rained, and who would have given you any amount of money for that race Saturday morning, and then to look down the track and see people hanging on the fence all the way to the scoreboards down there, which is, I don't know, 800 feet, 900 feet down.
Yes.
And the pits are people everywhere, and people are buying T-shirts like crazy, and I can kind of judge a little bit off of T-shirt sales. We know kind of what's going on without even having a body count, And
there's like three vehicles deep in this spectator parking.
Yeah.
Down to the scoreboard.
All the way down there, and there's people on the fence, and they didn't leave. It was getting cold. And there was a few people that got froze out, and there were some kids that had, little kids. They got kind of froze out, but man, there was people left there all the way down until we quit.
Yeah.
It was a absolute great race, and of course, Sonny and Eric and Wayne and Patty, they make Centerville so great to go to. It's just so much fun. You're like one of the family there.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, and Russell Foreman always sums it up best. He always says it looks like a KOA campground there.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah. So nice. And the DA is fantastic there.
Well, it sits in a bowl, the actual elevation is very low to start with, and it sits down in a bowl amongst the hills. And I swear the good air just settles into there,
Yeah.
And it just gets faster. It just gets faster all the time,
Really
especially if the temp drops,
Yeah.
And regrettably, the temp dropped a little too far
Mm-hmm.
on that deal. But I was glad that especially the Outlaws, I was glad they opted to split the three of them and just say, no, let's just save our stuff to race another day.
Very good.
I've already got gray hair. I didn't need more from those guys,
We
had a
fantastic event. It really was a good way to kick off the year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spectacular way to kick off the year.
And we got that long pole out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Is that actually the worst one for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I didn't know if it was further there or further over here to Ozark. Which one was the worst one for you guys?
Ozark's not bad.
That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
cool.
Hey, Gary, do you have that picture I want you to pull up there of the point deal? I want you to, I ain't trying to jump ahead here now, but I want you to just kind of talk about, what it takes to have a point, a show up point, what that means.
Yeah. It's become apparent to me that nobody reads my post.
Not even me.
Not even my partner, And it was April 6th, and it was a post where it had Larry and I racing in the snow, and I'd used that picture a couple times. So it's the second one that you scroll down to on our Facebook page, but it was actually the first one where I used that picture of Larry and I racing in the snow.
Right.
But it was on April 6th, and I wrote it down. Of course, I teased my good friend Wes Choate. He says, "You need to write this shit down." And I thought of that, ahead of the first race. I thought, okay, I need to write it down. So I did. So no, feel free to pull it up if you got a picture or whatever.
I do. I have it. So talk for like 2 more minutes because
Okay.
I thought I had it loaded and I do not.
Well, what started the conversation, I'll talk to, Larry, on Sunday, we were coming down for breakfast. And that's when we just had the conversation about, what does it take to get a show up point? Is it Friday? No, that's part of the track. Is it Saturday? You just got to come through the gate. And Al even mentioned, he's like, well, I put it on my post, and didn't you, go through that? And so we were trying to kind of walk through that of when it actually is officially a show up point. So here it is right here.
Yeah, there it is. And when we started, and back over the years of Ozark, and so much of this stuff started out with old ORP stuff from when I was the track manager and the GM over there, and we had policies and rules, and so some of it transferred over initially 8 years ago with Titans, and but the rule was always back then that you had to be first round ready, as it was called, and that meant stage the car for the first round of eliminations and break the beam.
Okay.
And as the years went on in Titans, and I don't mean to say this sadly, but sometimes it is sadly, you just become friends with everybody, and that's a problem. And always said the same thing when I had the chassis shop and working on people's cars and stuff. Instead of being a businessman and being I don't want to say cold, but just holding the line on things, you get to be friends with these people, everybody. And then it makes it hard to hold the line. It's just hard to put the line in the sand and hold it. And we talk about it all the time. That's what we have to do in so many cases. And if Larry and I don't have the line, well, then you're a waffler and you got nothing. Then why have a rule at all? Why have any rules at all?
Right.
It's just a free for all at that point, and everybody's in the pits going, well, let's just go up and tell them this is what we're doing, because they'll just go, oh, whatever, anyway.
Right.
And we've talked about that on here before, even. But I had, I don't remember when exactly, a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I think I told Larry, but he.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. As soon as he said it, I remembered it.
Sure. I said, if you're there on Saturday with a legal for the class car, and that's a big aspect of it. You can't put your pickup in. You can't just buy a tech card and have your pickup there. But if you're there on the property on Saturday with a car, not even necessarily your car, but one that's legal for the class,
right?
Not just your driver.
Because sometimes you have to borrow a car. It happens.
Yeah. We've had borrowed cars, and we've had races won with borrowed cars and championships won with borrowed cars.
Yep.
And so if you're there with a class legal or legal for the class car, at least reasonably close, and you get it to the lanes for a and I've picked a new word. It's not qualifying. It's testifying.
Testifying. Yes.
Because we don't have qualifying. It's testifying, which goes off on another tangent right now.
Perfect.
So I'm going to leave that one there right this minute. But if you're there, if you're there for a round of testifying, you should get your point. You've drove. A lot of these guys have driven a long way.
Right.
They've hauled their stuff. And they bought a tech card, and they're there, and they won a race, and crap happens. Let's just call it what it is. Crap happens. And so if you're there and you manage to get to testify, you should get a point. So I can't really see that. So maybe I can make it larger here. The first thing was when you buy a tech card, you're automatically entered in points.
Right.
You don't have to enter points. Everybody's in points. Just by being there and buying the tech card. And then the next line is you'll earn 1 point for buying a tech card, being at a series race with a legal for your class vehicle, and making at least a time run.
That's on Saturday.
On Saturday only. Yeah. And that's why it says being at a series race.
Yeah.
Friday night is not part of the series race.
Nope.
And people confuse that actually, and I'll even allude to that momentarily here. We put the dates out as 2 days. May the race coming up, May 1st and 2nd, but May 1st actually isn't part of the Titans race. We are a guest at the hosting tracks test and tune, and they allow us to come and test on their test and tune night, and we get to dictate a little bit in the fact that we say no street tires, just drag radials and slicks only, and we like to have our 2 rounds of testifying, which isn't even the right word for that either, but 2 rounds of data gathering as a group on Friday night, like 8 o'clock and 9:30. and it allows the track to have a little bit of a show that they can advertise and give the track a good night, sell some concessions, get people in there, get them warmed up, and show them what we've got going for the next day, which is actually the Titans of 10.5 series race.
Right.
Because we get nothing on Friday night.
We get nothing on Friday night.
Nothing is ours on Friday night.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the tracks. And we did that originally 8 years ago once again to, we started out working, well, it was just Ozark, and then it was the second go around was Ozark and Mocan and Eddyville, just small tracks. And the idea behind it was to give these little tracks a good weekend, a profitable weekend. And the second point was to make our outlaw guys the stars of the show, and not really have all these mercenaries.
Right.
And, over the years, our own guys have turned into the mercenaries. And there's no doubt
now.
There's no doubt they're known all over the Midwest now. They weren't before, but you guys, these guys that run the Outlaw, and you guys that Limited has changed that a little bit, and just the fact that the Outlaws have gotten faster has changed it a little bit. You guys are known across the Midwest now. It's different. It's not like it was. So that was the whole idea to start with, and so it's kind of morphed over the time. But anyway, back to the points thing there. You get your 1 point for showing up by being there with a legit car, and at least getting it in the beams and breaking the beam on a testifying run or a first round or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's got to get up there, and it's got to get up there on the line and in the beam on its own. On its own.
Tony Phillips has a comment here. Tony says, so if we would not have got ours back together, he says we would be getting our show up status to get show up points. We made one test on Saturday.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep. He would have got a show up point for that hit on Saturday. Yep.
Yep. And the mistake was, and I'll blame Larry for it. He made the mistake of not reading my post.
That was I knew the rule, but I referred back to those old rules from 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
When Wes come and hit me up against the fence down there, and that's 100% on me.
He's been appropriately whipped and beaten, and
we all made the mistake of not remembering that post from April 6th.
Yeah.
Because Wes had to go to the starting line and
read my posts.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did read this on that day because I remember the picture of you guys in the snow. But it's just when you're in the moment like that, I even kind of forgot about the deal.
Yeah. Well, and I saw you guys, Wes and you were staging, and I'm thinking, and people don't understand until you run a race and you do this stuff. Like I've done it for years. You get lost to where you're at. If I didn't have Paul heading in the lanes and somebody in the tower doing the announcing and making those run sheets back and forth and all the stuff and all the minutia that goes on, I get lost to where we're even at.
Yeah.
And people on Sunday ask me who won, and I can't even tell them who won most of the time. It's all such a blur. Yeah. And such a madhouse that it's just, I'm just being honest. I don't remember. So
there's been
I saw you guys staging up.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said, I saw you guys staging up, Wes staging up with a wounded car because he thought he had to do that to get his point, and he didn't have to.
Sure.
But I wasn't aware of where we were at enough to go, hey, whoa, what are you guys doing? He doesn't have to do this.
Sure. So grabs Ray right there.
So my apologies for that.
No worries.
Mine too.
Well, our apologies too for reading comprehension.
Well, or reading. Period.
I hope.
Right. Yes.
Are we going to testify? No, you're going to write a written test.
Yeah. Do I have to have a quiz after we're done here?
Exactly.
Ray says, to be clear, if you make a pass Friday or Saturday with a bot tech card, you get the show up point.
Not on Friday.
Not Friday.
Not Friday. No.
Not Friday. Friday's
Only
different.
Saturday.
Okay.
Only Saturday. And Wes, he chimes in. Wes says, I didn't read it honestly, read the rules and the points info, just not that post.
Yeah. Easy.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Easy.
it's all good.
Yep.
We've ironed that out. Ironed that out now, and it's written down. And I tease Wes all the time. He's the culprit. He's the one who says, you got to write this shit down. You know?
I got a question about points real quick. And then
Sure.
Let's say I run a couple races in limited, and then I want to switch to outlaw mid-season. Does my points go with me, or do I just start over?
You start over.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Good question, Rod.
Yeah.
It's a different class and a different group of guys, and
that's why that rule, the points and the rules say with a class legal car.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
You'd have to have, well, you wouldn't have to have a different car, I guess. You could run out.
You could run it.
Your car.
Yeah. It's
Sure.
super legal. Yeah.
But you could go and jump in a class as an example. If you guys were in a class of 14, 15 cars and the Outlaws were a group of 6, you could run up points and skip over and they'd never catch you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So no, if you jump over, and Adam did that a couple of years ago. He jumped over from something to he jumped over from 8.5 to outlaw, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And he had to start over, you know.
Okay.
And he gave that outlaw a good run.
He did.
By jumping over, yeah.
Yeah, but the points stay in their individual class.
Right. Fair. Okay.
You know.
Next question. So we're talking about points here, and I'm making up a scenario. If in any of the classes that chip draw, if you start out with 10 tech cards, but only 8 people, 9 people make it to the chip draw, E1, if you will, is there the amount of tech cards in the bucket, or is there just the amount of people standing there?
Well, I had that all figured out in my head.
Okay.
And like all good things, I poked holes in my own theory, and so now I don't have it figured out yet.
Okay, that's okay.
And that's the short story. And here's why. I'll explain to you why I had this all figured out in my head. And what we had decided between Larry and I, we said, no, if you're going to throw your chip in the bucket, then you have to have a car that's ready to come up. You can't just throw your chip in the bucket with a broken car if to create buys in the round. So if there's 9 cars, there's 9 chips. But that's not going to work. I poked holes in that theory because of buybacks.
Right.
You can't do it on the first round with a buyback. Because as an example, the orange car was broken for T1 or for E1, and they said we're buying back, but we won't make E1, but we're buying back, and that's legal. We've done that more than once already. We've done that more than one time already. They were a second or third time that's actually happened. So it pokes holes in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so now, once again, I'm back to not sure how to handle it. And I had that thought today, this afternoon, as a matter of fact, because I was going to announce what we were going to do. And the whole thing just all went to shit and out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You make a good point, because that's the scenario that played out at Centerville.
It's exactly the scenario.
They wouldn't make E1, but they planned on, and they probably wanted to make sure that they could buy back before they spend the next 3 hours changing a motor out.
Well, and that was for sure. And that was an easy one to answer because they did ask that question.
Yeah.
It was easy to answer because we've already done that. And that's just the way you bracket race and whatever. I missed a round here last summer with the borrowed banana car and my yellow borrowed car. I call it the banana. But I was having a carburetor problem and I missed E1 and bought back. Bought myself back into the second round of that particular bracket race. Mm-hmm. So it's not uncommon to do that. Now it's a little bit uncommon probably in this scenario with our racing, but it's all worked out. I understand that heads up racers aren't super thrilled about buybacks, but it's changed. It's changed the financial demeanor of Titans. It's just made so many changes to so many things for us, as in Larry and I, that it's been one of the better things we've done, whether the racers are in love with it or not,
And poking holes in it, Al, let's say, I bought a tech card and I say I'm broke, but I want to put my chip in. There could be a scenario too where I don't know I'm broke. I go chip draw, we push up, we're in the lane, the car won't start, or you do a burnout and you break something. That you're giving that person a buy right there.
Yeah. But at least then you're there. You didn't enter the bucket knowing you're broke, building buys, and that's where the problem kind of comes. And Larry and I said we want to run pairs of cars. The idea is to run pairs, not build buys into the bucket. But now this whole first round thing changes that whole thing too. So honesty right now, and I've talked through this with more people than just you guys.
Sure.
And so honestly, right now, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. It's going to require me to sit and scratch my head and ask repeatedly and think of another. I don't know. The best answer I got is that right now I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had it in my mind I was going to have written policy for tonight.
Sure.
And I don't. I poked holes in my own deal this afternoon
and found a loophole.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're thinking through it instead of just making a knee-jerk decision and going with it.
That's the problem with rules, and we don't have a lot of rules on purpose, but the ones you do have, you really gotta be careful how you write rules.
Yeah.
With anything, because everybody reads your words different, and it's got to be pretty foolproof. And the one thing, and hence that's why my stuff says with a class legal car, you got to add that little caveat to everything.
Right.
Or people will be throwing their daily in there,
Yeah.
And just little things like that. It's so easy. It's so easy to write something down that doesn't cover all the scenarios.
Yeah. Gary and I were talking about it offline. We got a lot of windshield time when we're driving around, and
yes.
Well, we do too. Larry and I do the same thing.
Yeah, we talked about this all the way back from Centerville last weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I just figured out of the, for the financial side of it, you already got the tech money, so it doesn't matter if he doesn't have a running automobile with the chip should go in the bucket. That's my first initial thought through. But,
right. But the buyback changes things too. People don't give enough credit to that buyback deal and what's in the envelope at the end of the night when you add up the buybacks.
Sure.
It's a substantial amount of money, which changes things for us.
Well, really that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
It makes the track rentals a little more bearable.
Yeah. The ones where
at first I didn't know about the buyback, you know what I mean? But I'm good with it. It's another test pass or another testify or whatever,
Yeah.
And so,
but again, you break your crap in the first round, or something messes up, or whatever the scenario might be, and you've driven all that way.
Yeah.
Now you can at least get yourself back in.
Agree.
Another go around.
Yeah, you had it. Anything could happen, right?
Yeah, anything could happen. You drew you're the number 2 car, and you drew the number 1 guy.
Yeah, drew the bear.
It's chip draw puts a little different spin on it than qualifying.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's why I don't like qualifying. 1 runs 8, 2 runs 7, 3 runs 6. Well, we know at least on paper. Now it doesn't always work out, and we don't rate paper, as I always say. But it's easy to look at that 8-car field and go, well, we know who's going home.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't take a smart guy to figure that out.
When
for the
I was
most
running
part
with the Outlaw Boys, there was a couple bears that drew each other, and I was able to advance. And stuff. So
the chip draw changes the outcome of the whole thing and the flow of the whole thing, and it just, to me, it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
and I like to make stuff interesting. I say that about little gangsters. Prime example. Little gangsters is a 530 index. Well, you can have 20 little gangsta cars, and pretty soon you got 5 guys that can run 530 with a 0, and now you got 5 cars.
Right.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as a promoter, we try to make it interesting and keep people invested and interested, and throw a twist in there. You know, the instant green is a twist on that deal, and that's why we do it. And that's why we have sponsors for it. Actually, we had sponsors say, "No, we'll sponsor it if you keep it."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's still there, and that's why we do it. It's
and we adopted Tito's rule from Ozark this year about we don't put that chip back in the bucket the rest of the year.
Yeah,
you know.
and I know that was another question you guys had coming up.
Yeah.
was how many chips in the bucket? Well, there was 31. Now there's 30.
Yep.
517 left the building. Although Wendy Martin found it and gave it back to me.
Then what'd you do with it?
I found your chip over here on the ground. Did you drop that? Here.
It went in the trash can at Centerville.
I said, throw it in the trash can. We threw it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Austin Martin has a good comment here. He says, Austin says the worst part of the chip draw is waiting on everyone to get up there for the chip draw.
Yeah. You know, and I'm not trying to give you guys more work. I know that the phone numbers are on the tech cards. I've been to other, races in the past where they would text when it's time to,
Mad does it.
Getting up for the chip draw a day of the
getting
race.
up there to draw, they're waiting on so-and-so.
Well, here's kind of a new policy, and I haven't even talked to Larry about this, but I'm sure because he was doing it this past race, and that is he's jumping on Facebook and posting all those lane calls and those things.
I saw that,
and we're gonna. I want him to keep doing that. I haven't talked to him. Yeah. We haven't talked about that, but I want him to keep doing that because there's several of these tracks you can't hear everywhere, and if people know to watch their Facebook. Although it got behind at Centerville and it wasn't posting in a timely fashion, but hopefully I don't know what that was about, but it was kind of delayed.
Sure.
But the other rule of thumb is if you hear juniors, you need to get your butt to a chip draw. The run order is going to stay the same.
You almost have to have someone with you to go draw because like Sandra went and drew for me because we were knee deep in trying to put duct tape on my car.
That's okay. If you send somebody up and they go, I'm Rodney's representative. That we're good with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
From our experience with the text from the track, with that information, it works really good. Probably better than Facebook, I would say. What would your feedback on that be, Rod? The text, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And Troy even makes a comment here. Any way to have a group text? Mad does it when we did that in the past, and it was really
Flying H did as well.
Yeah, it was quick and it worked very good.
Yeah, if they've got a setup for group text, that's great. For us to set it up for each individual race, it's a little tougher.
Oh, Justin Martin says WhatsApp works well also.
Okay.
That's like
you have it. Yeah.
Okay. You're talking to a couple old idiots.
I'll get with Red after this show and have him send me that information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we can be taught, if Larry can be taught how to do it, that's spectacular. And we're game to do it any which way.
Yeah.
Chris Durrell also says Messenger put everyone in a group chat. That's a great idea too.
But every race it's different.
It is. You'll have to do that.
We'd have to set it up.
Yeah.
On each one.
Justin had a comment up above there, Gary.
Yeah, he did. He said chip draw before first round and build a ladder. As a racer, there's mostly no time to make it up there for chip draw.
Yeah, we're not doing ladders.
Okay.
No.
All right. Good comments.
And guys. I get the chip draw first round and build a ladder off of that. I know a lot of people do that.
Sure.
They do. And we get that comment a lot. It's not Red's not alone in that. And it's not the first time anybody said it, but we're a chip draw deal, and that's what we do.
Okay.
Justin says admin can only post, so no BS.
Right, on the WhatsApp.
On the WhatsApp, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, again, if somebody can teach Larry, and he's not as old of a dog as me, I'm pretty unteachable, but especially when it's computer stuff and phone. But if somebody can teach Larry, I'm all about it. And I'm
What
sure
about
he is too.
what about Melissa's little son? He's techie, right?
Well, if you get him to talk to you,
Right.
I think he's a smart boy, but getting him to talk to you is a trick.
Justin says, then y'all just have to wait on me.
Well, we'll just keep yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I say, Senator Representative is not a problem.
Yeah.
All they got to do is say, "I'm here for Red Martin." You know.
Yeah.
Good discussions. All right. So
it just takes fine tuning.
Yeah.
And
all right. So let's talk about this weekend coming up. Anything you want to discuss about the race coming up this weekend?
Drum roll, please.
Well, okay. Here's the big blow up right here.
Listen carefully.
Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, because it's the big deal.
Do you have a post ready to fire on Facebook yet?
As soon as we get off here, all I got to do is hit send. It's already made.
Oh, is it okay?
The event page is already made too. So
okay.
Yep.
In conversations with Goose and Clayton and the guys over at Mid America, they were uneasy about being able to get the track ready for our kind of a race with rain in the forecast off and on all week. And so we collectively decided to move to ORP in Rogersville, to Ozark, for this weekend. They just didn't feel they could bring the track. Harper was going to help out, and he didn't feel it just wasn't the whole thing wasn't conducive to what they wanted to do, and they just felt it was better to opt out. And we naturally called our buddy Tito right away, and he was more than willing to take us on. So May 1 and 2 will be at Ozark Raceway Park
this weekend.
This weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Not mad.
Not mad. Venue change.
Yeah. Mid America Dragway is canceled.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the race will go on at Ozark Raceway Park.
The event is not canceled. You need to go to Ozark.
Yeah. So regrettably, we love going to MAD. Larry and I talked all winter about we feel some loyalty to the MAD racers and the MAD's fans and everything. And new ownership just didn't feel like they could give us what we needed. So, Red says we'll push that immediately, and we'll be pushing it all week. But everybody that's listening, everybody that's listening, tell everybody it just spread the word, and we'll be beating up Ozark's page and our page and everybody else's page.
And I'll follow up Justin Martin on that real quick. Don't think that we were waiting for this big announcement on your guys' podcast tonight. This all went down within like the last 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, it was all this afternoon.
It was all this afternoon, and so I made the joke this morning. I told Tito, I was talking to Tito on the phone earlier, and because all this went down, this afternoon late, and I said, see, this is what happens when I don't go to church on Sunday morning. Bad things happen. But it's a good thing because Tito stepped in and he promises Ozark to be a killer place to race Titans this weekend. So we're really looking forward to that.
Great.
All right.
There's no place like home.
No.
All I got to do is tap my heels together and make a call. So there we go.
Eric says, I wish I had known that before I left this morning, Al.
Yeah, well, a little detour, buddy. Just a little detour.
Sure. Yeah.
You get to make the trip up Highway 7 this time.
That's right. But no, and I'll just backpack off that a little bit. I mean, me and Al as promoters, I mean, this is kind of the not the news you want to give out 5 days before the race, and you don't know how the racers are going to take it, and especially our Mid America Dragway racers, and you know, you don't want to hurt feelings and do this and that. And like I say, there's a sense of loyalty over at Mid America with the Maybriars
and you
all the
guys
races
too.
and
You
you
guys are
guys,
part of
you
that.
know, and but it just had to be. So
yeah, I'm processing it.
Yeah, me too. I got a decision to make on where I'm going this weekend.
Yeah.
Tito chimes in here and says, "Got plenty of glue, and Zach and I are started on the track tomorrow night." There you go. That's a key.
Yeah,
They're not.
that's why Tito is our hero.
Man, he's a bad dude.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That place will be on point. We know that.
Sure.
And it'll be a badass race. You know,
it was in October when we were there, and it will be this weekend too.
Yes, it will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we always call Zach Little Homie. He's the starter, and that's what that's what everybody calls him, Little Homie. And he wears that racetrack on his shoulder right alongside Tito, and they take that track prep and the facility very serious down there. And when you get on Ozark, you're getting on a good surface.
Well, and I haven't talked to Homie, but I can promise you, if I asked him right now, I said, "You up to this?" "Yes, sir."
Oh yeah,
that would be his answer.
Yes, sir.
Yep. He's
awesome.
ready. Jim
Wouldn't
Lauer
even be a hesitation.
Jim Lauer says, "Are you going to Mad later in the year?" And that
Goose threw the offer out, and I haven't even looked at it to see if there is a date. We normally traditionally do not make up races just because it's too hard to get the dates to align.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying no, but at this point, it's been too much hectic of an afternoon to have even looked or to have considered it at this point. And I don't want to lie and say, "Oh yeah," because I don't know that.
And also, there's a couple of weekends in there that Al and I want to go to our races and bracket race. And so, there's a couple of weekends in the summer there. We get to hit 5 or 6 bracket races a year, and if we schedule another weekend, that's just another weekend that we're not racing to. So they're getting fewer and far between. Yeah. So,
and this year now for me, between Titans and working for Chaos, there's not very many weekends available.
Right. And I know Jim, on Jim's side, he's from Salina. So that's an hour and a half. That's a 2.5 hour drive for him. He loves coming and watching Rodney's car and our kind of cars race and supporting the Titans and supporting the track. He doesn't have a problem making that drive. He just loves supporting it, and he loves to watch great racing, and he's a big fan of Titans for sure.
Yeah. Well, and we appreciate that. And that's what we felt, the loyalty to the Mad fans and the Mad racers. And we hate doing this, but at least everybody come to the table and they said, "We just don't think we can get it there this week. There's too much intermittent rain, and it takes a complete track scrape, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes the whole drag back in. And if it's hindered by rain, it's a mess." And they didn't feel like they could make it happen correctly.
Right.
So we just opted out. And I'm not trying to piss off Goose or Clayton or make them feel bad or hurt their feelings or anything like that. We're trying to dance around this as delicately as we can and just get the news out there. And we wish them the best on all their endeavors the rest of the year out there.
Yes.
And whether we're included in that or not, and again, like I say, I haven't looked, we haven't talked about it to see if there is even a possibility at this point.
Yeah.
This is today's news, and that's all we got,
Yeah. Josh Gill.
And it was tough news because Al and I love Mad. It's a great facility. It is a great facility.
Yeah. Josh Gill, yes, you are late to the party, and no Mad this weekend. It's Ozark Raceway Park.
Ozark.
Change of venue
to Ozark Raceway Park.
Yep. It'll be great. Jason Seibert says, between TNS and I, we took 6 slicks for the drag yesterday.
Well, they got plenty. I asked that today too. They got plenty of slicks for the drag.
Yep, and I got a set going down as well. So
nice.
Yep. So yeah, there'll be a lot of posting from here on out. But we didn't want to post till we announced it here because we knew people would be listening tonight. You know.
Josh says, "Who's telling my boy, his son, that he doesn't get to see Mrs. Harper?"
Well, you know what?
Dang it.
I haven't got to talk to the Harpers yet, but I'm hoping that maybe they'll make the trip.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yes.
I can't speak for them. I don't have any insider information.
That's funny.
But Gary was going to help out with this race to some degree. He felt he was healthy enough to be able to sit on a tractor and help out. So my hope is maybe that he will feel healthy enough to make the trip and be present with us over here. So cool. I don't know if he's on or listening. I can't see who's listening. Like you guys can see who's on, you know, how many people. So Harper's open invitation.
And I missed that. Goose says you are always welcome, Al. Safety first.
Yes.
Well, thanks, buddy. I hate it. I hope you know I hate it, but we kind of agreed it had to be this way, and so like I say, I wish you the best the rest of the year, and if we can make something happen, that's great, and if we don't, well, sure. I'm sorry. So we'll just have to see.
Zach the man says, I'm always ready to go fast, and we're going to give our Titans one hell of a surface this weekend. 390s. Yes, sir, he says.
Whoa. Okay, see, I said that would be his answer. Homie, you up to it? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Wendy Martin says, we have 10 pounds of bacon left from, did I read that right? We have 10 pounds of bacon left from last race.
Last week.
Plenty of waffle mix.
Who didn't eat their bacon last week?
Well, who stopped eating bacon?
I don't know. Goose was taking on my bacon, so.
Man. Very good.
Somebody didn't do their due diligence on bacon. That's obvious.
That's right. And here's Spaniak. He says Titans race at Ozark Raceway this weekend. Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Yes. Venue changed to Ozark Raceway Park this weekend, May 1st and 2nd. Yes.
As soon as we get off here, I'll have the whole Titans page updated and share.
But you got to read the posts.
You got to read it.
Yeah. We're famous about not doing that, aren't we? Yeah.
It's a reading cast. Oh, man.
It's okay. Any other questions from you rule splitters?
No, you answered all my questions. I appreciate you coming on.
You and Choate, man. You and Choate.
We've been talking.
I know you have.
That's right.
Why we love you guys.
You're not shitting me, buddy.
I
know. Matt Ray says, Larry and Al, both of you putting on this series. I know last year wasn't great, with your vehicle mishaps. Wasn't great to either one of you. I'm curious how your rides are coming back together. Great question.
Yeah.
Well, Larry's on fire, and I've from from the start last year, I borrowed the yellow banana. Archie Griffin and Tammy, AG, they had a spare dragster, and Archie'd been kind of bugging me about driving that car anyway for him and testing it and kind of getting it lined out. And he called me, I wrecked my car on Saturday night, and he's already calling me Monday morning going, come get that car. Do you have your car out of the trailer yet? He said, I saw you guys loading it up. And he said, is you got your wrecked car out of the trailer? Come get mine. And I said, dude, no, I don't even have that hunk of shit out of the trailer yet. And I said, it's not going to be any easy deal to get it out of the trailer. It was in two pieces, it was broken half. And it was in there, and it was oil everywhere, and it just was a mess. But he said, well, just come get mine. The minute you get it out, just drag your trailer over here and load mine up. And I said, we probably will do that, and I appreciate that. But I said, let's give my poor wife a week to kind of, bring it down just a little bit. And she took the whole thing pretty well too. And of course I walked away. I was unhurt. It looked way worse than it was for me, and I scared poor Larry to death. He just knew I was going to be laying out there with my guts all over the track. And he couldn't even come down to see me. He sent Jason Brown down to see if I was okay, and, but that's all right. I get it. It's hard to watch, when you're not in it. It's hard to watch it from the starting line. I can attest to that, as I will here in just one second. But yeah, that was my story. I got a borrowed car. I told my wife that night. She said, you're not going to race anymore, are you? And I said, I'm not saying that. She said, well, maybe we can buy a car that we can both enjoy. And I said, I did have that thought on the way home. And I did end up in August. I bought a 59 Bel Air, really cool. 59 Bel Air cat eye car with the big fins. And I love it. It's a really cool car. And I haven't got to drive it much yet, but it's fun to drive. And so I did do that. And then I have the Banana as a borrowed car.
I was thinking like a 2-seater dragster.
Well, yeah, that would be fun too.
Yeah.
But Keith kind of has that market sewn up around here. So
sure.
But anyway, I'll go on to say that the Banana is my rental, and I kind of take care of it for Archie. And we're getting it lined out. I raced it last year and got it winning some rounds, and I'm working on it here yet. I didn't have it together for yesterday, sadly enough, but I had to be in St. Louis to grandkids stuff anyway. So I was kind of praying for rain actually yesterday, but it didn't happen.
No.
But then Larry too, of course, Larry wrecked his car, and he can tell you about that. He didn't fare quite as well as I did, but I had to watch that one from the starting line.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell you that people see me on my little green scooter, and that little bastard's fast. And I went whipping down there after he went tumbling to, because my buddy's going to be tore up.
Sure.
And I mean, I got down to the 8th mile and I'm dodging shrapnel on the track, passed up every golf cart going, with that little scooter, because it's pretty fast, and got there as Larry was crawling out of the car. So I was glad to see that he was at least struggling to get out, and he can go, he can tell his story from there. I don't want to take his glory here, but
sure.
No, I bought a '69 Chevelle, and it's at a real good friend of mine. Me and Shannon Beeler, he's a small tire racer. We've been family friends for 20 plus years, and he's always done all my chassis work. And he built the Malibu originally, and then updated it. That he put the front half on it, and then Al back halved it a couple years ago, put the 4-link under it, and so between those guys, their chassis pretty much saved my life, so to speak. I believe that. But I've got a new car. It's at Beeler's right now, and we're doing a 25-2 chassis on it, and he was welding the firewall in it today, and it's double frame rail deal. It's a really nice piece, and I hope to be racing by Street Machines, and it's coming along real nice.
Very good. I saw your new wheels and tires.
Awesome.
Yeah, I bought some Kaiser wheels for the back beadlocks and for the front and back, and bought the front wheels from another radio racer out of St. Louis named Philip Reichard. I bought his front wheels off his, I believe it's a Camaro he's got, and I went and made a trip up there a couple weeks ago and picked those up. And but yeah, I took Shannon the wheels today, the rear wheels, my center section, and the cool thing about the Chevelle is as bad as that car was tore up, and as many times as it barrel rolled, the rear end, the 4-link, the shocks, all the rear brakes, everything is in perfect shape on the back of that car. And I bought everything back. I sold it to Grant Carson, and he kept the center section, and he kept the wheels off the back of it because it didn't even scrape the wheels up on it. And it just, every time that car flipped end over end, it landed on the driver's side front every time it hit. So the back of the car was virtually undamaged. And but he got what he wanted out of it, and I bought everything back. And so the Malibu still lives on under the '69 Chevelle. So that's pretty cool. But no, we're getting there. I'm excited. I was out there today. I had dropped my stuff off, and I got fitted for the car. I got fitted for the steering column, all the pedals assemblies. I got fitted for all that today. And so yeah, it's coming along, and I'm getting pretty excited. So I'm ready to get back behind the wheel and do some Super Pro bracket racing.
Sounds
awesome.
Great. Good question.
Our local guy, Marvin Jenkins, he said, sorry, I'm still buffering here, so there's no Titans at Arc City this weekend. No, Marvin, it's moved to Ozark. So there'll be a post coming immediately after this, after Larry and Al are done here.
Yep. And we'll just keep saying it, change the venue, not at Mid America, moved to Ozark Raceway Park.
Don Irwin says, racing at Ozark. I came in from working on my car to listen to this. Now I need to go back out and pull my transmission. I couldn't make mad, but maybe here.
So
let's get on it.
Don. Yeah, go back to Menards. Make sure your red duct tape and your white duct tape is stocked in the trailer, and come race with us.
That's great.
And gather it up and put a car together, and just
That's right.
The expectation is that you're there.
Tito says, I appreciate you being on the mic yesterday, Larry.
Had a good time at Ozark yesterday.
Yes.
I might even go up there this weekend and announce some Titans.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Well, all right. I think we went over everything. I appreciate you guys coming on. We were scheduled you in to talk through this, and appreciate you talking about the points series like we talked about, where everybody's kind of excited to see what you come up with the whole, how many chips are in the bag on E1.
Yeah.
Kind of get back to us on that. And then it looks like venue change, so everybody be at Ozark, and just pass on the word. Good stuff.
Yeah, just everybody that's listening, everybody that sees it, just spread that word. We'll get with, Melissa helps us with stuff, and Chesney Thomas helps with stuff on the backside. And I don't know if Chesney's on tonight or listening, but I'll call her right away. And Larry will be posting, and I'll be posting some too. And we're just going to move forward, have another great series race number 2.
Yep.
Sounds great.
Thanks to all of our sponsors. Like always, we didn't go through the list tonight, but we always appreciate all of them. None of it would be possible without them. All the racers that support us too. Everybody comes out. We have pretty good car counts normally. I think most of the outlaws are still in one piece, I hope. And we're down to the week of now, so they don't have anywhere to go and blow their crap up before the race now. If it's still in one piece, it's still in one piece.
Russell is ready. Andrik is ready.
Well, we just got to talk Andrik to coming into Titans this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I just had a text. Grant Carson said, is left-hand steer roadsters excluded from 580? And no, they are not. Left-hand steer roadsters can run 580 index.
There you go.
So if anybody else was wondering that, the open wheel cars cannot, but the left-hand steer fendered roadsters can.
Yep.
Good.
And I'll text him back as well, but that just popped up as a question that just in a text. So
no, it's good.
You heard it here first. If you've got a roadster, you are in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did catch a comment where Wendy's letting just a shout out for bacon. 10 pounds left. Bring a little bit more.
We'll bring some.
Well, look at it this way, Hot Rod and Gary. There, you can go to Buc-ee's this weekend.
Woo! Dang.
Yeah.
See, there's an up to everything.
Yes,
man. Wendy says we would like to thank everyone for participating in the Waffles and Bacon, and they're donating to the juniors.
Yep.
Yeah. And we don't ever talk about that, but being she's brought that up, that's huge too. Everybody throws money in the pot there for the waffles, and we take that and split it out to the junior winner and runner up, and that's been $300 to $500 on top of the junior purse every time. For those kids. And
was it last week like 425?
Yeah, I think it was 425 or something last week.
That's great.
And there's been as much as over $500 in there, for those kids. And that's a lot of money to them.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Absolutely.
And so we just take that and throw it on top of the junior purse, So that's a big deal.
Something to run for. Yep.
Yeah. Besides getting to enjoy the waffles, which are always spectacular.
You get fed.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking, hanging. It's a great time.
Yeah. We sing Kumbaya, huddle up and sing Kumbaya, the whole deal. It's a great time.
It is very good.
And now we get to throw chips.
That's right.
Yes, throw chips. Boom. You got to throw them so Wendy don't find them and bring them back to you.
Exactly.
Throw them the other way.
Yeah. The good thing about Ozark, there's lots of trash cans around, so we can find one to throw the chip in.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember who it was. It was one of you guys or whatever. I had it in my hand, and I said, "Okay, this one's out," and I flung it.
Yeah.
And somebody says, "Did you just throw that away and just throw that?" And I said, "Yeah, I just threw it." Somebody asked me. I don't remember who. You did?
The idea.
Yeah.
Yep. 17 is out.
Yeah.
17's out of here.
That's great.
Man, I'm predicting an O this week.
Bring it. Yeah. Bring the O's, man.
Well, the forecast was coming up weekend is like 70 degrees on Saturday. So it's
the air should be good.
And so I'm hoping Little Titans a 500 gets pulled. Because it's the air is going to be good, the track's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fast race this weekend.
Yes. Brian Wise says, "Why not give the chip to the winner that weekend?" The 17th.
We could do that.
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's interesting.
We could do that.
We can make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Easy.
Although it was a pretty good time just flinging it.
It was.
I
won't lie.
You just flung that sucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you just throw that? Yeah.
Yeah. We will make that happen the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The Little Titans racer will get the chip.
There you go.
That's awesome. I love that.
Oh yeah. Good job, Brian. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gang. I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's got something else they want to ask.
Oh, we appreciate it.
I'm gonna get
one more time for those who can't read or come late to this party.
Can't read.
Venue change for May 1st and 2nd. Not Mid America Dragway. Venue change to Ozark Raceway Park.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, she has a question.
Hey.
Lady in the back row.
How does everybody's yard look?
How does everybody's yard look?
Yeah.
Mine looks like crap.
Mine don't.
You need a yard girl.
Oh, my yard looks amazing. Woo.
My yard looks like crap. I got to go back out there tomorrow. It was so long and so wet that I've got this trailer that I bag my grass, and normally I can bag my whole yard on one trailer load and take it to the dump. And I mowed last week, and my front yard, which isn't very big, filled the whole trailer with just the front yard. And then the side was, there was no way I was going to go out there and bag that up. It was so long and thick. I just went out there and just knocked it down. And I'm going to have to go out there not tomorrow and redo it again and bag it because it's just covered. You can't even see the grass for the shrapnel,
See, you wouldn't like the way I mowed. Like if I go over to my mom's house and mow her yard, I wait till it gets really hot outside, and then I set the deck of the mower all the way down on its lowest setting. And then I kill the grass, and that way I ain't got to deal with it the rest of the year.
Scalp it.
Yeah, scalp it down to the dirt.
Yeah, no, I like mine to stay green, and so I mow it as high as I can.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to go mow Mark's. He says mine needs mowed. He's got a goat back there.
Yeah, he's got goats to take care of his.
He's got the goat.
But it comes up with all those spots, those goat spots that grow faster than the rest. That's a problem with the goat,
I just want to check.
Okay.
Yeah, the goat leaves spots that make those spots grow faster.
Sure. Little fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
man. We will see you guys this coming weekend, Ozark Raceway Park.
Sounds
yes,
good.
sir. Get that post out there, and we'll get it shared up.
Yep,
okay.
I'm doing it right now, guys.
Sounds
okay.
Good.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks,
you bet.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
so much.
See ya.
Good night.
Hey, Gary, hot off the press. 16 short minutes ago, Justin Martin just put out there of him being in the winner's circle. Not too bad for second time out in the 275 tire. We are very outclassed in this NT 275 world, but we are here for it. Looks like you got a little trophy there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was he, did he go down to Texas this weekend?
Yep, XRP.
Oh, cool. Okay, good.
Class of Titans or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Dave Vassar from Nitrous Outlet. He put that setup together. Yeah, very cool. Good job, Justin.
Yeah, I just posted that.
Whoop, whoop. Maybe he'll be at Ozark next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, the big announcement came through. So we also got the point series deal question, solidified. And now we got working on the chips in the bag, and we'll see what they come up then. But it makes sense, too, what was going on with TNS. They know they couldn't make first round. Yeah. They're already ready to buy back because they were doing that motor change. So
they had their strategy in mind.
I think that should play into the decision,
Sure.
But all right. Well, good show. A lot of comments, a lot of people on chatting it up.
Tons of action tonight.
Yeah,
very good. Yes.
Out of the gate. So got to do some recaps. My car and you helping me out.
Let's give our partners a shout out again before we leave the building. Titans at 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest. CMB Chuck's Metal Buildings and Construction, Harry Street Carpet, Ozark Wasteway, Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing, Sandland Iron and Metal Auto Salvage, TNS Race Cars, and Ultra Color Collision Repair. Thanks so much to these awesome partners for riding along with us in 2026. Thank you so much for being great partners.
Nice. Good shout out. Great group.
Doug Perry, this is a great show, guys. Thanks, Doug.
Appreciate that.
Doug's here every Sunday, every show, ready to go. Yep. We're going to see Doug at the track sooner or later. We'll see that blue Malibu. Yes.
I thought Mark had donkeys.
Yeah. He's got the donkey.
Yeah.
Or the goat or something. Oh, you're right. Donkey, not a goat. Oh, well. See what I said? Your side is true. My side is sometimes not true. Oh, well, it's our story. Another comment popped in here. Mark, thanks, guys. Hey, you're welcome, Mark. We will see you soon, brother.
Yes. Awesome.
I can hear you, but yours froze up, but that's okay.
I'm going to remove and come back.
Yeah, we're about done here. So Rodney's gone. He left me stranded all by myself. That's all right. He's going to pop back in here, and we'll shut this out and go to work tomorrow. Where you at, Rod?
I don't know.
Where you at? Got a black box.
I know. I think it's messing up on me.
That's all right. We're done. Okie doke. Oh, are you there, Rod?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Rodney. Tiffany just reminded me tomorrow is your birthday, right?
Oh, yes, it is. That's exactly right.
Tomorrow is happy birthday to you. Tomorrow is also my son Casey's birthday.
Hey, Casey.
Man.
Yeah, because they did the pancake thing last year.
That's right. A year ago, we did the pancakes.
He'll be 16.
Nice.
You'll be a long ways away from 16.
Yeah, I remember when I was 16.
Oh, man. Woo! Okay. Well, here's one more comment popping in here. Yeah, Jim says, good luck this weekend. Thanks, Jim. I got to decide where I'm going to go now. If I'm going to go to Salina or if I'm going to go to Ozark.
Decisions.
Man.
Decisions.
Barry. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to shut this down and wrap it up.
All right, Gary. See
you ready, Rod?
Yeah.
Good night. Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Al and Larry and everybody that chimed in. And that was a great show. Lots of great information. So follow the Titans. Hang in there with the Titans. It's a great group. We're having a ton of fun, and we'll see you later. Good night, everybody. Good night, Rod.
Good night, buddy.